Hello, welcome back to part 2 of my Lord of the Rings part of my channel. My channel's kind of all over the place, but this is part 2. There's quite a few things happened since the last time I videoed my collection. One of them was it's kind of sad, but I was perusing the interwebs, looking at local things for sale, and one of my search things is Lord of the Rings, and then this thing popped up. And very sad occasion where this lovely lady's husband had passed away, and he was a collector. He loved Lord of the Rings, but his passion was collecting United cutlery. So most Lord of the Rings collectors will know that means the hardware, the goodies, the swords and the axes and all that really expensive stuff. And in my last video you would have seen that I have a couple of small pieces, and I've been saving up. What I normally do is I recycle old computers and e-waste and stuff like that, to try and afford, sort of play money. But it is an investment into the future, because as you all know, this stuff's quite expensive, and it mostly appreciates in value. So mostly this update is to do with what I managed to buy from this lovely lady, and do her husband a good one, like do him a solid, to put it into my collection and put it up in display. So hopefully you'll like this. So yeah, I'll turn the camera around and show you what has changed. So as before, I'm in the stairwell, and here's the big movie poster, the one that goes above the entranceways in the big foyers at the movie theaters, because that's how big it is. It's like I said, it's all of 8, I think it's just over 8 feet tall and 5 feet wide. But yeah, so here we are. So this is the first few from the collection here. So as you can see in the middle, that's the Witch King. That's his sword, and it's massive. It is really quite long, and it's purposefully made to look like it's kind of unfinished and sort of gnarly. It's not shiny, it's not smooth, it's all kind of dinkled and stuff. And then as you see on either side, we've got Gandalf's sword and Strider's sword, Glamdring, and Strider's sword ever had a name. If you guys, I probably remember that after I finished filming this, but if you guys remember, stick it down in the comments down below there. But yeah, super nice, super clean, and they are very well secured to studs behind the walls in there. Behind the drywall, I should say, because you don't want them falling, because yeah, maybe that'd be a good security system. Have it on a electronic switch, then breaks in, portcullis. Anyway, move on to the next room. So you'll all remember this room from the last video. So I've got my light up boxes from the movie theater. So yeah, all these lovely goodnesses, and this one. And that one's just a normal poster, and then this one was the gels, whatever you call them, from the actual movie reel. And then there's this stuff. So, as I said, this is all new to the collection. So you've got Turiel's sword, which is wickedly sharp. Amazing they sent it like that, but it is so ornate, like actual brass mounting, sort of full gold inlay. It's actually all right into the actual metal, so it's all inlaid, all the script and everything. It sits on a shelf that sits flat, but I've converted it because there's the notch there for the blade, so I've converted it so it's a wall hang. And then this one was never actually out of the box when I bought it from the lady, so you kind of feel bad about taking it out of the box, but it's for display. That's That's why I bought it. So, so yeah, the Big Urukai hatchet. That thing is wickedly heavy and very, very, very good as what it would be for. And then, as you can see, Saruman, there's his staff up there, and yet again, it is on there. Very, these are some very secure bolts. They're not actually the ones that come with it. And then here, I actually have it tied on, just in case it actually falls, because that would hurt. Legolas's fighting knives. And those things, like I said before, these things are sharp. They are incredibly sharp. And, you know, when you hold them in your hands, they feel substantial. So they're very, very well made. And United Cutlery make really, really good stuff. This one here, this is Strider's knife. Same thing. But the big difference with this is the scabbard actually has solid brass polished caps, and then there's a strap in behind for the way it straps to his belt, because you see it in the movie, the way that it's sort of hidden in his tunic. And then same thing here, it's sort of locked in with these tabs, because that thing is, it's literally like an ancient Bowie knife, and it is solid, and that is all inlay. That I had to reattach the end there, the pommel on the end there, because what happens is the wood dries out in certain climates, and the wood shrinks, so that bit popped off. So I've re-epoxied that, so it is as good as new. And then Gimli's battle axe. I'll give you a quick dart through here. I have Gimli's travel axe right there. And it's beautiful. I got that as a present from my family quite a while ago, actually. So now I have the battle axe. So that thing is wicked heavy, because that is solid. That is solid steel. Like, that's over ½ an inch thick at the centers. So yeah, and solid wood, and then leather wrapped. And then we get to the goodies. So here we have the King's Sword, because it has the Elven script on it now. So that is towards the end of Return of the King. And I can promise you it is a real sword, because I have played with them. I'm sorry to say I'm a grown man, but I have played with these swords. And then here is the Elendil, or Isildur sword. The one in the prelogue to the movies, where it shows the fight before the sword is broken. And yeah, it's literally identical to that sword there, just without the script and a different backing plate. Yeah, I don't think there's really any other changes at all to it. But beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. But yeah, on to the next room. So this was one of the casualties of the collection. Apparently, this is before I bought the pieces from this lady who'd lost her husband. This apparently had fallen, and because these things are cast, they are solid. When it hit the ground, or wherever it hit, it split the end of it, because this is wood. So what I'm going to have to do is cut this off and rework the end to mimic that, and then reattach these and get it all back together. And then these parts screw together to make it back to the full size. So it won't be able to tell the difference, because it'll only shorten about 1 3/4 inches. So yeah, it'll be good as new. So back to the room. So the collection, you've all seen this before. The square window boxes are all there, all accounted for. Most of the moon boxes are here. There's a few rarer ones I don't have, and then in the multi-moons, there's a few that I don't have, because they're a little harder to get, because they were sold in other countries. So maybe at some point we'll delve into that more. But so yeah, multi-packs, have them all apart from the Fellowship of the Ring, the 9. I do not have those ones and the variants, because there's quite a few variants of those, and have all of those guys up there. And then I have this on display, made this up. There's my Andy Serkis signed picture. The ring. Precious. Oh, better not put it on. I love that. If that was only a real place, eh? This is my version of the Palantir. Better not stare into it too long. But yeah, so this is the final piece that I picked up. And the lady, because she wanted to keep her husband's Sting dagger, because that was her favourite, she kept a hold of that, but she had no need or want for this. So she kind of just gave that to me, which is really nice because I already had Sting, which I got from my family. So I now have the scabbard and box to finish that out, which is really, really cool. One last thing. I now have Gandalf's pipe. I haven't tried it yet because I do have a little pipe that I use somewhat regular, but I will be trying this at some point. Maybe I'll do a review. Yeah, you never know. It's cool though. I love that. I love the long stem pipes. They're really, really nice. Yeah, I have a lot of posters I haven't put up yet. But anyway, can I do a shout out? First and foremost, to a young lad. His YouTube channel is called PIXALIA. I'll put the spelling down below. Super nice kid. Very passionate about this sort of elven folklore, Middle Earth, a lot of that stuff. And you don't get to see that a lot in the young kids these days, but he loves his books. So I've never showed my books before, and before I get into them, I'll just kind of go through some of this stuff. These are things that I picked up along the way, which were the adverts to a lot of the stuff that was coming out. Got a lot of these thingamabobbers. These movie sort of guide things that came along. They were just sort of promotional things, but they're good. There's a lot of nice artwork in there. Same thing here. These sort of things. Then you get into the books. So these are really nice. The artworks are quite good. They're not as good as the original books for information, but you know, you might find the odd thing that's really nice in there. These are really good for artwork when you get into them. Hopefully I can grab a page that's quite good. There you go. There's one for the girls. Handsome boys. But yeah, lots of detail, and the pages are really, really nice. Oh, Jesus. Oh, there goes Star Trek. Leave that up there. And then these ones, these are actually quite detailed, because these are a lot of the original artwork. And then this is the big compendium to do with Weta. So yeah, there's a lot of really cool stuff to get into in this stuff. But one of my favorite things, it's a postcard. My cousin lives next door to where they filmed the movie, and they have the new little town built. How cool is that? I better not show you any of that stuff, but yeah, postcard right from there. So these are the little books. You see, they're well worn, but that's what a book's supposed to do. It's supposed to live a life. So got the small carry book of The Hobbit, Silmarillion. Hopefully that'll come along here fairly soon. Children of Hurin. It's a bit of a deeper read. Tales, Perilous Realm. Very good, very good. There's a lot of speculation on this. Hopefully something's going to happen about this fairly soon. But this is my original book. This is my Lord of the Rings. It's a big honker. And this is what I read to my kids for many, many years. Lovely big, I love big books. And then if you really are in for a laugh, Lord of the Rings. Yeah, it's quite funny. But yeah, that's my books. So thanks for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed this. And if anybody wants to ask any questions or want me to do a follow-up video on a certain part of the collection more in depth, then just stick it in the comments. And I'll see you all again in the next one. Tatty bye.